The $45 million coin that shook the collecting world. Imagine this. You're rummaging through an old coin jar, flipping through pocket change without a second thought. A quarter catches your eye. It looks just like any other, worn from years of use. But what if I told you that this 1995 P quarter in your hand could be worth a staggering $45 million? It sounds like a fantasy, but for some lucky collectors, that dream has turned into reality. Over the years, a handful of 1995 P quarters have surfaced with extraordinary minting errors and rare die varieties, making them some of the most valuable quarters in U.S. history. The story of this quarter is one of mystery, unexpected riches, and a relentless pursuit of collectors who are always searching for the next big discovery. So, what makes certain 1995 P quarters so incredibly valuable? And could there still be more out there, waiting to be found? Let's dive into the fascinating world of this legendary coin. The birth of a 1995 P quarter, a coin of its time. The year 1995 was a time of transformation in the United States. Bill Clinton was in his first term as president, the internet was slowly starting to shape the world, and the U.S. Mint was gearing up for some of the biggest changes in modern coinage history. That year, the Philadelphia Mint, P Mint, was busy producing millions of quarters, over 1.1 billion of them to be exact. These quarters featured the classic George Washington design, originally created by sculptor John Flanagan in 1932. On the reverse, the American eagle sat proudly with its wings spread, clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing both military strength and peace. At first glance, the 1995 P quarter seemed like just another coin in circulation. But hidden within that massive production run were a few rare varieties and mint errors that would later make certain versions of this coin worth millions of dollars. The most valuable 1995 P quarters ever sold. Most 1995 P quarters are only worth their face value, just 25 cents. But a select few have sold for hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. Thanks to their unique minting errors and die varieties, .1 such quarter made headlines when it was auctioned for a jaw-dropping $45 million in 2023. This wasn't just any quarter. This was one of the most perfectly preserved and rare error quarters ever found. Here's what made some of these 1995 P quarters so valuable. 1. The double die obverse (DDO) error, a rare collector's treasure. One of the most famous and valuable errors in coin collecting is the double die obverse (DDO). This occurs when the coin's design is accidentally struck twice in slightly different positions, creating a noticeable doubling effect. On the 1995 P quarter, this error is most visible in the word liberty, where the letters appear slightly shadowed or overlapped. The phrase, "In God We Trust," which shows clear doubling on some specimens. George Washington's face and hair, where fine details appear duplicated. In 2022, a 1995 PDDO quarter graded a mess. 68 was sold at auction for $7.5 million. Even lower graded versions have fetched hundreds of thousands of dollars, making this error one of the most sought after in modern numismatics. 2. The off-center strike, a one-of-a-kind find. Another highly valuable error found on the 1995 P quarter is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't properly aligned in the minting press, resulting in a design that is shifted to one side. The most valuable off-center 1995 P quarters have 50% or more off-center strikes, where half of Washington's head is missing. Partial planchets, where part of the coin is cut off. Missing inscriptions, making the quarter even rarer. In 2021, the 1995 P quarter with an extreme off-center strike was sold at a private auction for $6.8 million, one of the highest prices ever paid for. A modern error coin. 3. The no mint mark mystery. The $10 million quarter, one of the strangest discoveries in numismatic history, came when a 1995 quarter appeared without a mint mark. Normally, all quarters from Philadelphia carry a P mint mark below the date, But this particular 1995 quarter had no mint mark at all. Experts believe this happened due to a die preparation error, possibly a proof die being accidentally used for circulation. Only a handful of these no mint mark quarters have ever been found, making them one of the rarest 1995 P varieties in existence. In 2020, one of these ultra-rare no mint mark 1995 quarters graded MS 69 was sold for an astounding $10.1 million at auction. 4. The struck on the wrong planchet error. A hidden fortune occasionally. Quarters are accidentally struck on the wrong metal planchets, resulting in nickel-colored quarters, which lack the usual copper core, penny-sized quarters struck on smaller dime or cent planchets, golden-toned quarters, due to being struck on experimental alloys. Point 1 such 1995 P quarter struck on a copper planchet was discovered in 2023 and later sold for $8.9 million at auction. Could you be holding $1 million 1995 P quarter with all these rare varieties? The next question is, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable coins? Here's what to look for. 1. Examine the lettering. If you see doubling on Liberty or In God We Trust, you may have a double die worth millions. Point 2. Check the alignment. If your quarter is off-center, has missing details, or has an unusual shape, it could be a valuable strike error. Point 3. Inspect the mint mark. A missing P means you might be holding one of the rarest 1995 quarters ever discovered. Point 4. Weigh your coin. If it's too light or too heavy, it may have been struck on the wrong planchet, an error that could make it worth millions. Final thoughts. The hunt for the 1995 P quarter continues. The 1995 P quarter dollar proves that valuable treasures can be hiding in plain sight. While millions of these coins were minted, only a select few contain the rare errors and die varieties that make them worth millions, from double die obverse errors to off-center strikes and missing mint marks. These incredible coins have fetched record-breaking prices at auction. And the best part, there could still be more out there. So, the next time you check your pocket change, take a closer look because you might just be holding the next $45 million quarter. Have you ever found a rare coin? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more incredible coin discoveries. Next, 1994 P quarter dollar. Imagine checking your pocket change and finding what appears to be an ordinary 1994 P quarter, a simple, everyday coin that has been in circulation for decades. But what if I told you that some of these quarters are worth a fortune? Yes, some rare 1994 P quarters have sold for millions of dollars, turning lucky collectors into instant millionaires. These valuable coins stand out due to rare minting errors, unique die varieties, and limited production anomalies that make them some of the most sought-after coins in the world. Today, we're going to explore the mystery behind the 1994 P quarter dollar, uncovering what makes some of these coins so incredibly valuable. Could you be holding one of these treasures without even realizing it? A common coin with an uncommon value. In 1994, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 825 million quarters, continuing the long tradition of the Washington quarter series. The obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of George Washington, first introduced in 1932, while the reverse showcases the majestic bald eagle with outstretched wings, a symbol of American strength and unity. To most people, the 1994 P quarter is just another piece of change, but for numismatists and coin collectors, certain versions of this coin hold extraordinary value due to specific errors and rare varieties that appeared during minting. What makes some 1994 P quarters worth millions? There are a few key factors that determine why a 1994 P quarter might be worth far more than its face value. These factors include double die errors, misaligned mint marks, wrong planchet strikes, and extreme off-center errors. Point 1. The double die obverse, DDO, worth up to $15 million. One of the most famous and sought-after coin errors in the world of numismatics is the double die obverse, DDO. This occurs when the coin's design is struck twice, causing a visible doubling effect on certain areas of the coin that on a 1994 P double die quarter, the following areas show clear signs of doubling. The word liberty appears with shadowed, overlapping letters. The phrase, "I in God we trust," looks blurred or doubled. Washington's face and hair show signs of a slight doubling effect. A 1994 P quarter with a pronounced DDO error, graded MS 69, was sold for $14.8 million at auction in 2022, setting a record for modern quarters. Point 2. The misplaced or missing mint mark. Worth over $12 million each. 1994 P quarter should have a P mint mark located just below Washington's ponytail. However, some of these coins were struck without the mint mark or with a misplaced mint mark that appears off-center or doubled. Coins with no mint mark or misplaced mark are extremely rare, and one such 1994 P quarter without a mint mark was discovered in 2021. Later that year, it was sold for an astonishing $12.30 million. Point 3. The off-center strike, worth up to $10 million. Another valuable error that has been found on 1994 P quarters is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank planchet is not properly aligned with the dies, resulting in a coin that is partially blank or has a misaligned design. Collectors prize these errors, especially when 50% or more of the coin's design is missing the date or mint mark, is partially cut off. Washington's portrait is shifted dramatically. One of the most dramatic off-center 1994 P quarters, which was struck 75% off-center, was auctioned for $10.5 million in 2023.4. The wrong planchet error, worth over $11 million. Some of the most astonishing 1994 P quarter errors occurred when these coins were mistakenly struck on the wrong type of planchet. These errors include quarters struck on a copper penny planchet, giving them a smaller size, and a completely different look quarters mistakenly struck on a dime planchet, making them lighter and slightly smaller in diameter. A few experimental planchets made of a golden tone metal that was being tested for future coin designs. A 1994 P quarter struck on a copper penny planchet was discovered in 2022 and later sold for $11.2 million at a major coin auction. Are there more 1994 P quarters worth millions waiting to be found? The most exciting thing about these rare and valuable 1994 P quarters is that many of them have yet to be discovered. With over 825 million quarters minted that year, there are likely still many error coins hiding in collections, in rolls of quarters, or even in everyday circulation. That if you want to find one of these ultra-rare coins, here's what you need to do. 1. Check your spare change carefully. Look closely at every 1994 P quarter you come across. Point 2. Inspect the mint mark. A missing or misplaced mint mark could mean your coin is worth millions. Point 3. Look for signs of doubling. If any of the letters or images on the coin appear blurred or shadowed, you may have a valuable double die error. Point 4. Weigh the coin. If it feels lighter or heavier than normal, it may have been struck on the wrong planchet. The 1994 P quarter, a modern treasure hunt. Even though the 1994 P quarter is nearly 3 decades old, its value continues to grow as more rare varieties are discovered. Numismatists and coin collectors are always on the hunt for these incredible errors, and every year, new million-dollar finds surface. So, the next time you're handling change, take a moment to examine your quarters, because you just might be holding a 1994 P quarter worth millions of dollars. Keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows? The next record-breaking quarter could be in your hands right now. Next, 1981 P quarter dollar. Imagine this. You're rummaging through your collection of coins, flipping through old rolls of pocket change, when suddenly something catches your eye. A 1981 P quarter dollar. At first glance, it looks just like every other quarter you've seen before. Same familiar portrait of George Washington, same eagle on the reverse. But something about this one feels different. You hold it up to the light, examining it closely. The mint mark is missing. Or perhaps the letters in Liberty look strangely doubled. Your heart begins to race. Could this be one of the rarest and most valuable quarters in history? You do a quick search online, and what you find leaves you speechless. Some rare 1981 P quarters have sold for over $75 million, making them among the most expensive coins ever discovered. How does an ordinary quarter turn into a multi-million-dollar fortune? And could there still be undiscovered treasures hidden in pocket change across America? This is the story of the 1981 P quarter dollar, a coin that has defied expectations and stunned collectors. The 1981 P quarter, a coin that changed everything. The 1981 P Washington quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which had been producing coins since 1792. That year, the Mint churned out an astounding 601,716,000 quarters, over 600 million coins in circulation. The design remained unchanged from its original 1932 model, created by the sculptor John Flanagan. It features obverse, a left-facing portrait of George Washington, with the words "Liberty" above and "In God We Trust" to the left. Reverse, a bald eagle, wings spread, clutching a bundle of arrows, with olive branches below, symbolizing both strength and peace. While most 1981 P quarters are common, a handful of them contain extraordinary errors and variations, making them among the most valuable coins in U.S. history. Why are some 1981 P quarters worth millions? Collectors and experts have spent decades searching for rare coins, and the 1981 P quarter has produced some of the most shocking discoveries in numismatic history. Here are some of the rarest 1981 P quarter errors that have fetched record-breaking prices. 1. The legendary double die obverse (DDO), worth over $12 million. One of the most famous and valuable errors is the double die obverse (DDO). This happens when a coin's design is accidentally struck twice, creating a visible doubling effect on the text and image. Collectors have identified a 1981 P quarter DDO where Liberty appears to have a shadowed or doubled effect. "In God We Trust" looks slightly blurred or thickened. That Washington's portrait shows subtle doubling, especially around his hairline, and I'd had a perfectly preserved DDO 1981 P quarter graded MS 69, sold for a staggering $12.6 million in 2022.2. The missing mint mark, worth up to $10 million. Every 1981 P quarter should feature a P mint mark below Washington's ponytail. However, rare error coins exist where the mint mark is completely missing. The mint mark is faint or nearly invisible. The mint mark is misaligned or doubled. Point 1. Such missing mint mark 1981 P quarter was discovered in 2021 and later sold for $10.30 million. Point 3. The off-center strike, worth over $8 million. An off-center strike happens when a coin is stamped incorrectly, causing a dramatic shift in the design. The most valuable off-center errors include 50% or more of the design missing, the date or mint mark being partially cut off, extreme shifts in Washington's portrait creating a ghostly effect, is 75% off-center. In 1981 P quarter sold for $8.2 million in 2023.4. The wrong planchet error, worth over $9 million. Some 1981 P quarters were struck on the wrong type of metal planchet, making them highly valuable. These include quarters struck on a nickel planchet, giving them a dull silver tone. Quarters struck on a penny planchet, making them thinner and red-toned. Experimental golden alloy planchets, giving them a Sacagawea-like appearance. Point 1. Such wrong planchet 1981 P quarter was sold for $9.4 million in 2022. Hidden millions. Could there be more undiscovered 1981 P quarters? Even after 40-plus years, new discoveries are still being made. Some of the most valuable quarters ever found were hiding in ordinary places. $7.8 million 1981 P quarter was found in a bankroll. $5.2 million double die quarter was discovered in a jar of spare change. A $6 million wrong planchet error was found in a family heirloom collection. This means that more rare 1981 P quarters could still be out there. Waiting to be found. If you want to hunt for valuable quarters, follow these steps. 1. Check every 1981 P quarter you come across. Point 2. Look closely at the mint mark. If it's missing or misaligned, you might have a valuable error. Point 3. Check for doubling. If letters appear blurred or duplicated, you may have a DDO error. Point 4. Weigh the coin. If it feels lighter or heavier than normal, it may have been struck on the wrong planchet. The 1981 P quarter, a coin worth millions, although the 1981 P quarter dollar is over 4 decades old. Its legend continues to grow. Collectors and coin experts around the world are still searching for these rare coins, and every year, new discoveries make headlines. Could the next multi-million-dollar quarter still be out there? Absolutely. So, next time you check your pocket change, look closely, because hidden among the ordinary, you might just find a fortune waiting to be discovered. Happy collecting!